Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video. And today I want to talk about Bala-Tik. Bala-Tik is a guy that was in The Force Awakens, or at least people tell me he was, because I blinked and he was gone. But he had a very small role, and most people thus far have given him a pretty small role in the game. But the more decks that I've ended up using him in, the better I find him to be. So let's go ahead and take a look and see. Is he good? Is he overrated? Is he underrated? Does he fit a specific role? Let's take a look. First of all, he's very cheap. At 8 cost for a decent die and 11 cost for 2 dice, that is very solid with 8 health. I mean, you're paying 1 per health. There are not a lot of characters in the game where you get that kind of trade-off or that kind of banking. You're looking at something like Rey, and a couple other really sort of unimpactful characters. But Bala-Tik's ability is bananas good. After an opponent's character is defeated, you may ready this character. So let's think about what exactly that means. Let's say you have all of Bala-Tik's dice on the board, and you defeat a character. He readies. Now what that means is, his dice stay on the board. There's nothing in the rules that say, when a character readies, return his dice. What it says is when you exhaust or when you use a die, return it to your character card. So what's happening is you still get a chance to use all your character dice, put them in Bala-Tik, and then reuse him and re-roll him out. Now, that sounds fantastic, but you might be saying, Tiny, have you seen his dice? They're not that great. 1 damage, a +2, and a focus. It's actually pretty solid, like especially if you're using this in a 3-character deck. That focus ends up saving the day quite often. You might hit one of his die as a +2, another guy as a +2, and then you use the focus to turn one of the blasters to a regular damage and save the whole die roll. So he becomes really powerful there. Another way to make him really, really powerful is to put good weapons on him. A really, really common, awesome weapon to put on is the holdout blaster. Because here's the deal. Once you start loading up Bala-Tik, your opponent might get freaked out and go, oh god, just imagine what would happen if he killed somebody and then stood back up or unexhausted and rolled a whole pile of more dice. So what I love to do is put like 2 holdout blasters and an F1 or F11D rifle on him and just go, what do you want to do? Like, he's awesome now, but you sure you want to kill him? Like, I'm just going to move these blasters to the other guys. Maybe you don't want to kill him. And so it gives your opponent these impossible choices of, do I kill him or not? Now, if you're playing him with other low-impact characters, the choice is really easy. So what's a really cool idea is to pair him with somebody like Jango Fett and go, okay, choice to you, sir. What would you like to do? Would you like to kill Bala-Tik with a holdout blaster on him in case he gets to roll his dice again? Or would you rather kill Jango Fett, the guy ripping your face off? 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with Jango Fett. And it allows you to do a whole bunch of really mean combinations that you can do with Bala-Tik if they're kind of ignoring him. One of the coolest plays you can do is fight dirty. So, you have, say, Jango, you've already rolled Bala-Tik out. His dice aren't that great. They come up bad, right? So he's got his 2 dice are blanks, we'll say, and a holdout blaster is ineffective. And then you roll Jango as a response with a jetpack, and that's garbage. It just doesn't work out. And you're like, huh, that's too bad. Good thing I fight dirty to do 4 damage, kill that guy. Bala-Tik's dice go to his card, but then he immediately unexhausts and gets to roll his dice out again, and maybe this time they go a lot better. So there's a lot of tricks you can do just to get his dice back out there, and if you get enough upgrades on him, he becomes really, really great. But so you still might be saying, well, I play this Vader Raider deck, Bala-Tik doesn't scare me. I kill him really easily. I mean, if Vader dies, I'm dead anyway. I don't really care. And I would agree with that. Bala-Tik to me is very much a meta-dependent card. He's pretty good on his own. Don't get me wrong. His ability is very strong. It's only going to get better over time. But he really excels right now because I think what's happened, and this is a whole nother video about what's happened with the metagame. But what I feel like has happened is it started with the easy deck, Vader Raider. I made a video about it. I published a deck about it several months ago now. Whole bunches of people bought their cards and were like, oh my goodness, that is an amazing aggro deck. And it is, don't get me wrong. And so a lot of people reacted to that by saying, well, that's really the best 2-character combo to push out damage. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a 3-character deck that either blitzes damage out with like stormtroopers and says, okay, I've got, 2 stormtroopers and Django, or some other combination like Akbar and 2 rebel troopers, to where, sure, you control one of their dice, right? Vader can easily do that. He can isolation. You can do any number of tricks to control a die. But if your opponent rolls out 6 dice that each have 1 damage on them, it's much more hard to contain that. It's much more hard to control that with the control cards people are generally running. Most people aren't running dodges right now. They're not running Jedi mind tricks. Because before that, the metagame had been Vader, a very small amount of dice, which can do things like force strike and turn blanks into kills immediately without even letting you do anything. So people aren't running those cards. And so people have reacted by running 3 characters, and that's where Bala-Tik goes crazy. He's like, oh really? You have 2 stormtroopers and Django. This is going to be fun. I had that matchup last night. And normally you would kill Django first because he's the real threat. But if you have Bala-Tik on the table, you don't. You pick off the troopers. That means twice during the game, Bala-Tik is going to activate. That's crazy. Twice he's getting extra rolls, extra activations, and that completely did my opponent in. He wasn't actually able to kill any of my guys. I was running Phasma Trooper Bala-Tik, and so I was doing all these tricks where he would roll damage. I would immediately eat the damage with the Trooper. I would shield up Bala-Tik, and basically I annoyed him enough with the Trooper that he originally started going for the Trooper trying to kill him, which allowed me to just go crazy with Bala-Tik. So the bottom line is I feel like Bala-Tik right now is a great answer to the metagame. I don't feel like he's insanely powerful on his own right now, but when the metagame shifts to 3 to 4 characters, like 4 stormtroopers, or something like Stormtrooper, Night Sister Stormtrooper, those kind of decks, Bala-Tik eats them up. Being able to get extra activations on him is really, really strong. Now, when the game shifts back to more 2-character combos, or if your meta is still in that meta, he's not quite as good. It's a lot harder for him to get activations. Now you're just rolling his 2 dice for cheap, which is not bad if you're able to exploit that aspect out of him. But to me, what makes him really shine is being able to put a holdout blaster on him, a lightsaber, some number of redeploy weapons where, they don't really want to kill him because those weapons are just going elsewhere anyway. And then giving them a big distraction. Django is a great distraction. Another deck that I really enjoy is Jabba the Hutt plus Dooku plus Bala-Tik. And so they're like, well, Jabba's the worst. Like, if I don't kill Jabba, I'm dead. And so a lot of people will go for Jabba first, letting Bala-Tik just do his thing. So, bottom line is, I think Bala-Tik is a really, really great answer to these grow wide decks, as I call them. Whether it be putting out a whole bunch of guys to be able to do a whole bunch of damage in a different fashion that's harder to control, whether it be putting out 3 guys to be able to live longer, just have more health. Those mill decks that want to have 3 guys out, Bala-Tik's a great answer to all these things. So if you're running into these kind of decks, Bala-Tik is your man. He may not have had a big role in The Force Awakens, but he may have a big role in the current metagame in Star Wars Destiny. So, thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned next time. And if you are interested in supporting the channel, you can always go over to brokenegggames.com. When you make your purchase, put TG Games in the discount code section, and you can support the channel that way. So see you next time on Tiny Grams Games.